So, what do you see is going to be like who do you think is going to make the run for president on the Democrat side?
It's hard to say. Everybody says Newsom, but I have
AOC.
I have the sneaking suspicion that on the Democrat side it'll be like the Republicans were in 2016. Because in 2015 when the primary started, everybody thought it was going to be Jeb Bush, literally, because they said, "Oh, that's the name everybody knew. It was going to be Jeb, Rubio, Ted Cruz." What's that?
Oh no.
And then Trump. Trump came out of nowhere. So I think on the Democrat side, it's going to be similar. Everybody's thinking about the same handful of names. They say it's going to be Gavin Newsom. It's going to be Kamala again. It's going to be AOC. I think it's going to be somebody actually that surprises us. And I think it might create a real schism in the party. Like, certainly what might happen is you're going to get a progressive candidate that's going to run, and maybe they're not going to be able to actually win the election, because you got to think the caucuses and primaries, they start in Iowa, South Carolina, New Hampshire, Nevada. These are not hyper-progressive constituencies like it is in New York City. So I think that you might get a progressive that's going to run. Maybe they don't have a real chance of going all the way, but then maybe they're going to make a bid to be the VP. They're going to make a bid to be number 2 or something like that. Maybe that's going to be the play. But I think it's going to be a little bit unpredictable, because there's another thing going on in the Democratic Party, which is these people are really frustrated. They were already pissed off in 2016 when Bernie got screwed over. Then they were pissed off in 2020 because Bernie got screwed over again. If you remember, in 2020, he had a primary, and Bernie won Iowa. Then he won New Hampshire. Then he won Nevada. And then Biden won South Carolina, and then it was all over. Then it was Biden's. It was literally Bernie. Bernie was doing really well right up until...
I'm confused because he has a lot of the populist positions. So I'm like, how does he keep losing?
Because it's a political machine on the left. It's not
keeps
a real
losing
election.
because
so he got screwed over in 2020, but Biden won, so it's all good. Well, then in
it's a
24
lot
they
bigger
ran
than
Biden
just
again,
votes.
and people are furious that look at how that turned out. That was a catastrophe. Then they didn't really hold a real convention, so they said we made a decision. We're putting up Kamala. They did it in fucking Chicago, dude.
Yeah.
It doesn't get more corrupt than that.
That turned
It's
out to be a
the DNC's in Chicago.
huge disaster for the
Democrat
Democrats.
bagmen came up and said, "Look, it's Kamala. That's who it is. Everybody shut up. That's who's going to be the nominee."
You think Obama made that call?
Yeah. Well, no, actually, I think the Obamas, I forget exactly how it lined up. I think they were not happy about that, if I'm not mistaken. I forget how that all shook out. But the party establishment basically said, Kamala, that's who it is.
I think it would have looked optically bad because she's a black woman, so they would have been like, no, she has to do it. Like, if they
In the way that
and they're run by race politics over there, so.
That's true, but I think you could have, the way that you could have avoided that is have an open convention. And then whoever wins, and people complain, and you say, well, look, that's who won.
I think they made the argument it was too late or something
they did,
like that. Yeah.
And
Well, I do think it was Obama's call, because I do remember Joe Biden snubbing, sort of ignoring Obama. They met in it was a White House event or whatever. I forgot what it was. And Obama was there, and they didn't even acknowledge each other. And this is right after they announced that Kamala will be next in line and running for president. So I think this was Obama's call. I think Obama wanted this to happen. He did not want to see Joe Biden up there. You know what I mean?
said, yeah, because the convention was held in August, which is pretty late in the game. So they said, look, this is just what it's going to be. But anyway, so the Democrats are really mad because of this history of like the progressives being screwed over, and it hasn't worked. The Democrat establishment is just losing then. Like they lost this election in 24, and the progressives are mad that the Democratic Party isn't standing up enough to Trump. Like when Trump got into office, he had a big appropriations bill in March, which the Democrats just passed.
The big beautiful bill.
No,
right?
before that.
Oh,
It was an omnibus bill. It was regular appropriations in March. The Democrats were furious. And I remember Ezra Klein from New York Times, now I think he's still there, and the other guys, they all said, look, the Democrats need to shut down the government just on account of we need to stand up to Trump. And that's why we had that huge government shutdown in September, October when they came back from the recess last year. So there's a lot of dissatisfaction among the rank and file that the Democratic establishment's not effectively fighting Republicans or not opposing Trump. And so there's going to be this like very radical energy going into 28 that's like, no, fuck Republicans. We need to go as hard as possible. And I think that's metastasizing in this Zohran Mamdani, these people that he backed. and that they're winning, that they've got the energy. Like you said, that's that domino theory. People are going to look at that and say, look at the effect Zoran's having. We need to emulate something like that. We need to get the young people out. So I think that's going to be very powerful going into 28.
Yeah, and it's just like, and I see like this socialist push as well. Like it's like kind of like, I don't know. I mean, like, has there been like a push like this for like mass socialism since this is like something that I've kind of noticed with Mamdani's like getting it pushed. Free buses. We're gonna do healthcare. We're gonna freeze the rent. He literally just did an ad today saying that they're freezing the rent in New York City.
Yeah.
For until next year. So like,
they voted for it. New York City voted for it. They voted for freeze the rent. So landlords are losing their minds right now in NYC. Zohar Mamdani and his legion, his team of people, they have the momentum right now. They have the energy, they have the momentum, and especially from the young folks, the young kids, they're coming out in droves voting for Mamdani, especially white liberals. Mamdani's got the juice right now with the young white liberals. They're all voting for him. New York City is Mamdani's city. And all the people he backed, all the people he supports, all won the primaries. They all won. It was a landslide victory for Mamdani and his team. And this is going to take an effect throughout the whole country. People are going to see what Mamdani's doing in New York City, and they're going to want to do the same. So Nick is, he's right here. I have to agree with Nick. Whoever's going to come out from the left, whichever Democrat's going to be, it's going to be a progressive. It's going to be a progressive. This is what they're going to vote for. This is the future. This is going to be the Trump 2015. The progressives are going to bring in their own Trump. Someone who's going to come in, who's going to be a populist, someone who's sort of like a Zohar Mamdani, who's pushing all this free crap, and people are going to vote for this person. Are they going to win? I don't know, but this is the future for the Democrats. This is the card they have to play. Because nobody wants to see a Newsom. Nobody wants to see these old-time, if you want to call them moderate Democrats. They want to see a progressive in there. They want to see a radical progressive in there who's going to offer them free shit. This is what's going to come. This is what's going to be. So the Republicans they're going to have to step it up a notch. I don't think Rubio or J.D. Vance are the answers to the Republican Party. I don't even think Trump is not even the answer. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in 2028. I mean, it's already 2026. We're right there. We're almost there. So the progressive is going to come out. They are going to vote in a progressive. Who? The question is, who is this person going to be? Who is this person? But this person is going to come out, and without a doubt, is going to be a Zohar Mamdani clone, And this is who they're going to push because they're winning right now. They're winning with these socialist ideas, with the young kids. They're winning right now. This is what the young kids want. This is what the young kids want to hear, I get it. Life is hard right now. So to buy a home or to even, survive is not easy. So these young kids, they hear this message of, I can give you this, or I can give you that. I can give you free this. I can give you free that. And they're buying into it. So if they're going to go all in on a progressive. It's just going to happen. Who is it going to be? I don't know, but it's going to happen. And the Republicans better be ready for this. They better be ready. They better step it up. They better find that next person, that next star who's going to bring in the people again. Bring in that America First crowd again, because they're losing that America First crowd. There's a division right now. You have the MAGAs, the psychopath, Trump could never do wrong, MAGA supporters, and then you have the people, the other side, the America First, who are only about America. So they got to figure it out. They got to figure out how they're going to come together and make this work by 2028. It's going to be interesting to see. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you like what you just saw, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you guys around.